Today's video is sponsored by Simply Safe. So welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. It is another scorcher today here in Pennsylvania. Going to get up into the 90s again. I do think that we're going to get some thunderstorms later on today, and it's going to bring some cooler air in, so that'll be good. But we have a busy morning here today. Right now I'm headed to the stone yard because Tom from Concrete with the Hosses, they're headed over to Neighbor Cliffs here in about an hour and a half, and they're going to pour that one patio where the new shelter goes. And we need a little bit more stone to bring it up to grade. I left things a little bit low just because it's easier to put stuff in than it is to take it out. So yesterday Steve and a couple guys and Jim and Elliot, they came over and formed it all up, and so they want to get it poured and done before the rain this afternoon. So we'll see how it goes. All right, we're over here at Neighbor Cliffs. We got Concrete with the Hosses here. Here's Tom. You remember him. If you don't remember Tom, check out his channel. But conditions are pretty warm here today, aren't they?
Quite toasty, yeah.
How does that affect what you're doing here?
Everybody just has to move quicker. Lots of water, stay hydrated. Whenever we can, we take some shade. But like out here, how do you get shade? You just gotta, the concrete sets up quicker. We did a patio this morning. We had our mixer there at 6 a.m. We were done stamping at 8:30.
That's nice. Yeah. Now storms this evening, but hopefully you can get this poured today, and then everything else will be another day. But yeah. All right, so what do we got here for colors, Tom?
Okay, well it's a guess. It's an educated guess. So I have color charts from Butterfield Color, and just like card chips, you just put them there and you match them as close as you can. This looks pretty good to me. If we would do the land and stone, I don't see very much gold in this one.
Right.
So I'm going with sandstone to be a closer match. Now it won't be identical. This concrete is however old it is, 10 years old.
Yeah.
It's a brand new concrete. We know it's not going to be identical, but we want it to be pretty close. So our base color, sandstone. Then we have our antiquing color, the darker low areas, and I'm gonna say Kalina tan on that one.
Okay.
So that's our color pick.
We're gonna try to keep Wonka out of the concrete. Do you remember years ago when you poured over at my house in front of our garage? They had another Newfoundland named Lucy. Yeah. And I think you were pouring something.
Right.
Yeah, you were pouring over here. You poured over there, then you came over here to pour a little pad, and Lucy went walking right up the sidewalk over there. Oh yeah.
It happens. We had one the other day come right into concrete.
Going next. 1 in the corner there, yeah.
our Steve overrode me. We are going to put broken stone liner against the form.
He overrode you?
He overrode my decision.
Wow.
And that's okay.
Sometimes
that's okay.
you gotta let them know. Hey, this is what we're doing.
This is what we're
Don't
doing.
even give them a choice.
When's the concrete coming?
When?
Yeah.
About 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're putting broken stone liner against there. A little bit of concretal mush underneath. Ooze is our word, oozage.
Oozage, okay.
So that'll come out there. We'll scrape it off, and we might use a different type of expansion joint material against our next pour, because it won't be a true,
right,
nice even surface.
How many yards is this here?
This is 10 yards.
10 yards.
And for you viewers out there, Mike's camera is going to be going. It's going to look like it's on time lapse, but it's not. I'm kidding.
You're going to have to be fast in this heat today. It's going to be setting up quick.
So Mike's really been a big help to me getting my channel started. He's the one who told me that I should start a channel 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't, but I'm glad I listened to you last year. So we started our channel, and it's been going good. It's all been positive.
Yeah.
No, I can't see any negative feedback in any of it. We get criticized, but that's okay.
Yeah, and what's neat is even from people in other areas and stuff, it gives them all ideas, you know what I mean, on what they can do with their place and what to look for if they're hiring a contractor or something like that.
And that's the comments that I get, and I read excuse me, I read every single comment that I get, and so many times, like, now people say, hey, thanks for the video, because I know what to ask my concrete contractor that's coming over, because it's in a different area, or we just can't do it all, obviously.
Started short.
But
you're going on 40 years now, right? 40 years of pouring concrete?
how old do you think I am?
Wow.
Pretty close. 35.
35 years. Yeah. Okay. When did you get that?
This was a Christmas present last year I bought myself. Every year Santa brings me something.
Right.
So this is what he brought me.
Boy, that's pretty slick.
Isn't that easy?
Where's that?
2,500 bucks, you could have one too.
2,500.
2,500 bucks.
One for my truck.
No. But it is, well, it's worth it. Just the time we save. And it's important too, that way when we're shooting the concrete in here as fast as we can, just because again we're in a hurry because of the heat, I'm standing here and I'm sweating.
Yeah.
So that way nothing moves. Our rebar stay where we want it on our 2 foot by 2 foot grid. We don't want it all bunched up to one side, obviously.
I always get comments from the guys down south. You don't know what heat is. I probably don't, because this is hot for us.
It's hot, yeah. But it's also the humidity.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, we're pushing 100 degrees. I know Arizona, they're at what, 104, 105, 106.
Yeah.
But I hear it's different. I hear it's dry heat. But nevertheless, still 100 degrees. Wherever you're at, 100 degrees is hot.
So this color comes from Shop Supply in Cranberry. They have this big machine where they have like 4 or 5 different pigments, and we just call them and give them the Butterfield color, and they have a code. They just type in and it spits out all the different pigments.
How many bags for 10 yards of concrete? 5?
Well, they do it differently.
But how many do you need for...
So this particular round, we have 5 bags of 2 yards of color. Now we have some over there that are 4 yards, 1 yard.
I got you.
That way, whenever we get into this next area, you know, we don't have to order a full 10 every time.
Right.
We only need 4 yards. Now we have a 4 yard bag.
Right.
So
So I mentioned earlier that today's video was sponsored by Simply Safe, and I want to thank them for sponsoring today's video. They make a fantastic product and they've been a great partner to our channel. So we've had our Simply Safe security system now for 3 years and it works flawlessly, just like the day I installed it. And speaking of installation, it was a breeze. I had the entire system up and running in a single evening, and it has been glitch-free ever since. So one of my favorite things that Simply Safe has to offer is their outdoor wireless security camera. It works fantastic. We use 3 of them, and not just for security, although that's most important. It's nice just to see what's going on around here. I may be down at the wood yard, I get a notification, I can be like, hey Melissa, the FedEx man just pulled into the driveway, or Eva's boyfriend's here, or Eva's going to work, or Eva's doing this, or Eva's doing that. She's pretty busy. For example, here's daughter Eva headed to work today. Simply Safe also protects your whole home around the clock 24/7, 365. Every door, every window, and every room. And it's backed by the best 24/7 professional monitoring in the business, ready to dispatch police, firefighters, or EMTs to your home. I think Simply Safe would be a great Father's Day gift because I think most fathers are like I am, kind of worried about external threats and things like that. This kind of helps alleviate that a little bit and you can focus on other things. Save 20% on your Simply Safe security system when you sign up for an interactive monitoring plan and get your first month free. Visit simplysafe.com/Morgans to learn more.
We're about to get real busy. I won't have time to do much talking. Once he's done mixing, after we put color in it, he puts about 50 to 75 spins on that drum before we mix. He's going to pull up. We're going to wet the sub base down so it doesn't suck all the moisture out of the concrete. It'll help slow down the drying time and let that concrete set up a little bit better. You saw us putting the color in. We used to take those bags and just throw them directly into the truck. They're water-soluble bags. But we would get callbacks, or we would see them in the concrete, chunks of bags, especially in the folds of the bag where they're glued together. It doesn't always dissolve. So once we started dumping the product in and not putting the bag, it eliminated that problem.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
Yeah. But it says right on them you can throw the whole bag in, but sometimes you're faced with chunks of bag. Right. And it's always right by a tool cutter or right where you come out of a door. It's always right where it's a problem.
So he's spraying that stone down now so it doesn't suck all the moisture out of the concrete immediately.
Turn that hose about 90 degrees this way. How's that look? Good? Yeah, good. Swing it.
Spray this.
Swing it. Like the whole buggy thing. Forward. Don't swing. Stay there. I'll bring him my way.
Jim's our workhorse. He's getting quite the fan club.
Jim is.
Yeah, we're gonna make t-shirts.
Check out the comments, man. People love him, and so do we.
Yeah.
Tell them why you're hitting these forms.
So what I do is I take the float and I put a little bit of down pressure and then I tap it. That way it helps. If you saw that right there,
about halfway.
we had some air bubbles come up. That makes sure we're getting a bunch of cream on the liners, so we have as much texture as we can on those sides. And now Elliot's going to go through with the vibrator, and it does the same thing, just a little bit better.
made a little bracket. I just flip on the bolt load, flip on the broom. I didn't put it on the straight edge yet. That's my next. You'll have to check into Conquer with the Hosses and see that video coming up.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A little bit right here. More trigger. Blasted hard. Squeeze it.
That's what I'm doing.
Maybe the battery's going dead. Don't talk back to me. Okay. We're almost done with it. We'll just tap.
Tell me your haircut.
We need another shot over here?
We definitely might. I think so.
Jim, get something there.
Yeah.
You know you need that, get that,
need a
and pull
little
them up.
Just swing it into the gravel pile.
I'm glad I didn't take this tree down right here.
I'm glad you didn't either.
It's a nice little shade tree.
Thank you very much.
These tables are working out good too.
How much longer before you can get on it, you think?
We're actually not even getting on it.
Yeah, we'll be imagining that in minutes. We'll be rolling that in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be out of here in under an hour.
Yeah, nice. So I want to mention, Steve has a channel as well, Gunpowder and Freedom, for all your pew-pew stuff.
Yep, well, half.
Half.
It started out as like, I wanted to do a lot of firearms reviews, but then just my dad helped me start it after you helped him, so thank you very much. But so it turned into firearm reviews, as well as maybe some safety advice, as well as the development of my property. My wife and I are getting ready to build our house, and thought that would be pretty neat to kind of showcase that and everything. So
You got what, 60 acres up there or something?
63, yeah.
63 acres, very nice.
Yeah,
so I'll put a link to your channel.
Thank you very much.
Most know your dad, Tom, but I'll put a link to your channel as well. But they are both good channels. And
I don't understand it. You have almost 300,000 subscribers. Why aren't they watching us?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
They will be. Yeah, it will be. But Tom,
I'm glad everybody who came aboard is there and watching us. So
yeah, it's good stuff. It is, and like I mentioned before, it's very helpful for anyone. Yeah, this is overwhelming for people to even think about doing something like even hiring someone to do this. You know what I mean? And it.
Yeah.
Well, we launched a video 2 months ago. At the start of the season, we have 5-gallon buckets full of tools, old tools, but still good. So I offered them to viewers who were thinking of doing some projects. So we'll supply you with some tools, do your project. I'd say if you live within an hour of the Pittsburgh area, it'd be worth a drive over. We'll supply you with the tools. Some of them you can keep. Some of them, if you take them, we'd need them back. You're welcome to use them. Provide us with a video of your project. I think that would be so cool.
That's a great idea.
So if anybody wants to take us up on it, we had one guy take us up. He made a video last week. I didn't get the video yet. And Steve took tools to a viewer. He hasn't done the project yet.
Right.
There's 2 out there. So it's going.
Nice. Well, we'll definitely get some footage of you finishing this. This is going to look pretty when it's done here.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you had a little break. You ready to...
We actually got a bee attacking you. Bee's nest. We started today, this morning and today we use a product called Pause set. It's delayed set. So we used a half of a dose in it, and it's just laying here a little bit. Now, this morning the concrete set up, we didn't even realize it was in it. But here, the cement plant is 1.5 miles from here, right, Mike?
Yeah, a couple miles.
It's pretty close. So the concrete was loaded in the truck, brought here, mixed up, and exited real quick. So it didn't generate any heat. So this concrete's laying here a little bit, but in this sun, that's not a bad thing. It's just letting it set up slow, getting stronger.
Yeah.
So we're hitting it with our Fresno. We call that Big Blue. That way we don't have to get on it on knee boards and trowel it and possibly get a dimple and a low spot in there. So Steve's just troweling that. We'll hit it both ways. We'll go around the edges and we'll start rolling. So as Steve's going across the surface, we touch up the edges, and it's important that we all do it at the same time. Now when Steve goes over it, if there's a big time lapse in that, you'll see a different color in the surface of the concrete. Whenever we trowel it in relation to when he troweled it, if it's, how am I trying to say this? If it sets too long and sets differently, you'll see that in the final product.
So it all has to be done the same time, basically. Yeah.
Just trying to clean this edge up. That's what we're looking for right there.
Don't do.
Just do one? Spray, Elliot. Come on, Elliot, we're losing it. Give me a spray. We gotta go. Just watch the handles behind me, Elliot. Yep. We get rolling, forget where they're at. So you can see the texture of leaves.
Yeah, so you do like kind of crisscross all over.
Oh yeah.
First thing I would have done is start on one edge and go straight down and straight back. You don't want to do that, right?
Yep. Give it a flip. You never turn it, it's always straight.
And what's the stuff called you spray on it?
Liquid release.
Keeps it from sticking.
Yeah. And if you get any sticking, you just slow it down a little bit. It usually goes away.
I like this texture.
So right here, then you do this and you give it a flip and it changes everything.
Right. I like this texture because it's not, you can see it, but yet it's not like rough or sliding chairs.
Chairs work perfect on it. This is our biggest seller. This is our most common. Up until, I shouldn't say that, wood plank has been a hot item this year.
That's because that video you did at Outdoors with the Morgans right there.
Outdoors with the Morgans, everybody's doing wood plank.
Wood is good.
So we just got done rolling it. We're leaving a couple lines here and there. So we'll just give it 10 minutes. We'll give it a respray, recoating with the liquid release, and a final roll. And it'll look real nice.
All right, they're gonna spray it again, roll it one more time, and start pulling the forms off.
It's probably not even necessary. Can you see any lines out there now? Well, we'll hit it. It'll only take a minute. Like, I don't know if you can see that right there.
Yeah, I can
that's
just
an impression right there.
Yeah,
That's what we're just trying to get out. Just that little right there.
and it did. Yeah.
This the time bomb ticking. It's like an explosion, and all this just gets thrown everywhere, and it looks like it. What happened? A bomb went off here. So we always joke and say, I can hear it ticking. Here it comes.
We're gonna see what this looks like here.
Ollie, grab that 2x10 with me. and just pull it straight back.
You get the nails in the corner?
Corner still. Take it all the way up there in the ground.
And right here where we have some seams, you just feather that in.
Got it.
No one ever knows.
All right, so what's left to do with this, Tom?
Well, all we have left to do, we'll do a saw cut each way, break it into a 10 by 10 pad. With our thickness, with a rebar, that's a good size. We won't have any problem there. And then a cleaning, a power washing, a scrubbing real good, and then coloring and sealing.
Okay.
Our Clean-A-Tan Permatique antiquing. And it should match that pretty close.
Then in the next day or two, they're going to form the rest of this up. So you'll get another look at this, but don't forget to check out Tom's channel if you haven't already, Concrete with the Hosses. I'll put a link in the description.
Thank you very much.
And I'll also put a link to Steve's channel in the description as well.
Gunpowder and freedom. Thanks very much, Mike.
Nice job today, guys, in the hot weather.
Oh boy, thanks.
It's supposed to be in the 60s on Saturday.
Crazy, isn't it? All right, have a good day, everybody.
Well, I'm back over at the house now. Tom and his crew finished up a couple hours ago. It's really starting to cloud up. They were calling for some storms this afternoon, but I just checked the radar. It looks like everything kind of went around us. They'll be back tomorrow to form up the sidewalk and that other patio. They'll take care of that. And I think that's about it. But don't forget to check out Tom's channel, Concrete with the Hosses, and Steve's channel, Gunpowder and Freedom. And I also want to thank Simply Safe for sponsoring today's video. Thanks to all of you for being here, and I'll catch you on the next one.